Let's talk about data visualization. This is a really fun thing to do inside of After Effects because we have the ability as animators to take complex information and visualize it in a way that's easier to comprehend and understand. And a lot of times clients will come to you as motion graphic designers to take their complex information and do just that, animate it in a way that is more digestible for their viewers. But this comes with its inherent challenges. We as the designers have to understand the data in a way that allows us to even animate it in a logical sense. But we also have to make sure that we can visualize basic shapes and basic masks to create graphs, to create these data visualizations that would otherwise just be numbers on a page. And this is where the art form comes in. So in these following tutorials, we're going to break down different sets of data and we're going to animate them in ways that make logical, cohesive sense. We'll also learn some new tips and tricks along the way. So let's get started working with data inside of After Effects. Let's create 4 of the most common types of graphs: a pie chart, a loading bar, a bar graph, and a line graph. We're going to create these using basic shapes, strokes, and lines, and we're going to animate them using a variety of effects that we haven't touched yet. Let's start with our pie graph. Pie graphs are fun because they're literally just circles, and we use different effects to create the pie graph effect. So let's come up to composition and let's make a brand new composition. Let's name this pie graph. Let's work in the HDTV 1080-24 preset. And we'll make it 30 seconds long. We won't need it, but it's nice to have it there. Background color, white. Let's hit OK. So we're going to work with 2 identical circle shapes, and they're going to be duplicates of each other. So let's start by getting out our ellipse tool. And let's draw in the rough middle of our screen. Click and drag. Hold Shift to make a perfect circle, and hold Alt. And hold Control to draw from center. Make it about yay big. Doesn't matter what your stroke and color are, we'll change that in a second. Let's make sure we come over to our Align panel, and let's align this center horizontally and center vertically. And then let's come up to our Pan Behind tool, and let's change the anchor point after selecting our layer. Let's change the anchor point, holding Control or Command to snap to center. So now we have a perfectly centered circle with proper anchor points. Now let's name this layer Graph Base. Let's make sure that our pen tool is selected again, and let's change the fill of this to be a nice kind of baby blue. You guys can choose your own color schemes for the entire project. I'm going to be using a yellow and blue color scheme. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And I want to turn off the stroke. So I'm going to click on the word stroke and use the red line to turn it off. So I literally just have a blue circle. Now let's go ahead and select our graph base layer, and let's hit Control D or Command D to duplicate that shape. And let's come up to the option bar and let's reverse this. I want to add a stroke. I want this stroke to be a nice kind of gold yellow. Hit OK. And I want to turn off the fill. So I'll click on the word fill and hit the red line. Let's increase our stroke width to about 50 pixels. That looks pretty good. So now we literally have 2 separated shapes. We have the stroke on top and we have the graph base, which is just the blue circle. Let's go ahead and rename our second layer here, Graph Stroke. This is the beginning of a pie graph. Now, many of you would be tempted to come and take the pen tool and start to then mask out the percentage of what the graph needs to be. And for this exercise, we're going to animate a 75% pie graph. We could rather easily come up to our mask options and then mask out an area that looks like about 75%. But how do we animate that then? We'd have to come through and animate the mask path and hope that it moves in a circle, which it won't. It moves linearly. That would be an absolute nightmare. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this mask because that's not what we're going to do. Instead, we're going to use effects. Now, we haven't talked about effects at all in After Effects yet. And the effects panel lives over here in our collapsed panels. It says effects and presets. If we click on that, we have a whole host of different effects and presets. And I have some that you won't because I've purchased different plugins, etc., etc. But we're going to be working with base effects, things that After Effects just comes with inherently. Now, to start, I want to add a bit more design to this before we start to even get into making this look like a graph. I want to make it look unique. So we're going to focus on the design elements on this first, and then we'll give it functionality later. Let's select our graph base. And I want to add an effect called 4-color gradient. If we come up to generate, there is a 4-color gradient option right here. Double click that effect. It opens up our effect controls panel up here next to project. And this is applied to the layer that we have selected. And it turns our layer from that nice blue to a pretty gross combination of 4 arbitrary colors. But we can choose what these 4 colors are. 4-color gradients are a great way of creating custom lens flares and light leaks that you can use to kind of screen and add to any footage. But in this case, it's going to help us create kind of a dimensional circle for our graph. So I want to change color 1 to be our baby blue that we had before. I want color 2 to be a similar blue, but a bit darker. I want color 3 to be our yellow. And color 4 to be a blue that's a little lighter. Good, so you can see what this does. We can turn off and on an effect by clicking on the little effects button next to the effect name. So all this did was it kind of murkied this up, but it gives this some depth. Play with these colors real quick and get it to look the way you'd like it to. Good. Now let's select Graph Stroke. I want to add a different effect now. I'm going to toggle back up my Generate folder, and I want to come up to our search bar, because sometimes you don't memorize exactly where all these effects live, but you know what they're called. And in this case, I want to add a drop shadow to my Graph Stroke. Well, maybe I don't know where the drop shadow is, but I know it's called a drop shadow. The search feature is really great. If I start to type in drop, we can see down here, it shows us the folder that it lives in this case, perspective, and we have a drop shadow effect. Let's double click that with our Graph Stroke layer selected. It adds a drop shadow effect to our Graph Stroke. And just like all the other Adobe programs, we have these different drop shadow parameters that we can adjust. The opacity, the direction, the distance, and the softness. Now in this case, I want the direction to be about 135 degrees. I want the shadow to emerge down right. Let's change the distance to come down a bit more, around 24-ish pixels. And let's increase the softness quite a bit, around 70 to 71%. And that just lifts the stroke off of that gradient background. And it kind of makes it look really pleasing. It gives it life. It helps it stand off from its background, which is great for data because you want the data to stand out. So now that we have a really well-designed circle, let's animate this now to make logical sense as a graph. Let's select our graph base. And let's come over to our effects. Let's hit the X where we were typing in drop shadow to clear that. And I want to add an effect. It's actually a transition called a Radial Wipe. Type in radial. We have a bunch of different radial options here, but we want to come down to the transitions folder and select the option called Radial Wipe. Not the one that says top or bottom, just the Radial Wipe transition. Double click that with your graph base selected. Now this is a super easy way to create an animated pie graph. A radial wipe is just like a clock wipe. But we apply this to a circle, well, the transition completion percentage is literally a clock. It's a radial wipe from center. Because we aligned this to center, it's working off of center. Be careful with this though, because notice how you can change the wipe center. So if I were to move this, it's going to create a very strange but sometimes cool wipe effect. So we want to make sure that we're working in the dead center of our project. And this is why we aligned our layers at the very start. So now we have a keyframeable property to add some depth and motion to our graph. In this case, I want to start at 100%. I'll start my keyframes for the transition completion. Hit U on the keyboard to bring that up in my timeline panel, and let's make this about 3 seconds long. Move my playhead and change the transition completion from 100% to 0 because we want it to start completely wiped off and then come back on. I'm going to start my loop point at 4 seconds, and let's see what this looks like. Great, and it comes on to 100%. But we're working with data. So let's say that we're going to work with a 75% data point, meaning we want this pie graph to look like it's representing 75%. Well, this is easy because we have our transition completion. And so if it starts at 100% and we want to only show 75% of it, basic math says we should end this then at 25 or a quarter. There we go. That's a 75% pie graph. And now when this animates, it's going to animate from nothing, and it's going to stop at its 75% mark. Now let's add some ease here. F9, let's come into our graph editor. Let's crank our influence handle over quite a bit because we want this to really fly on and ease off. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Let's make it a little shorter, maybe around 2.5 seconds. Beautiful. Now what about this stroke? Well, let's work with the same effect. Let's apply a radial wipe. Come back over to our effects and presets panel and double click radial wipe. And likewise, because it's centered, we can animate this. Let's add the exact same transition. Let's come to 0. Let's start the transition completion at 100%, start the stopwatch, and then come to the last keyframe for our graph base and do the same thing. Make this now 0. Instead of 25%, we want the stroke to complete itself. Hit U on the keyboard to show those keyframes, and let's add some ease by pressing F9 and going to our graph editor and increasing the influence. I'm going quickly on this because this is stuff that we've already done. We're just adding effects to shapes and graphs and keyframes that we're already familiar with. Let's watch this now. Looks kind of cool, but it gets a little muddy because our ease is a little different. It's coming in at different times. I actually want to create a delay. I want to stagger these keyframes in their entirety. Let's take both of our keyframes for our graph base and drag them to the right a little bit, because now the pie graph will actually come in and chase the tail of the stroke. And that will look real nice. Let's play this back. Beautiful. All it's missing is some text and some numbers, and we'll get to that in the next tutorial. If you're ever working with circular shapes and you want to create a basic pie graph, think Radial Wipe. Radial Wipes are a great cheat effect to create a very simple but very effective animated pie graph. Lastly, let's make a new composition. Composition, new composition. We'll keep all of the settings the same, but let's name this composition All Charts and hit OK. The All Charts composition is what we're going to drag all of our other comps into. So let's go to our project panel and let's drag our newly created pie graph comp into our All Charts. And now we have our animated pre-comp here. So now I can get out scale. I can scale this down to 50% and I can move it away from center and it's going to animate all the same. So as we go throughout these tutorials, we're going to add our graphs to the all chart composition. In the next tutorial, we're going to start our next graph of working with a loading bar.